And I believe that the call has begun. And I want to say welcome to session 2 of Kuro. Kuro is a game of cyberpunk J horror. Um, this is a game I've run several times. We have a couple of characters that have been here throughout. We take up sort of mid story with our characters from last time, and we'll kind of go over what that exactly means here in just a second. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, which is an online gaming community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have a big online calendar of games. We have a number of podcasts. We have open forums. We've got a Patreon that supports all of these things, and that includes at a certain level our monthly magazine called Codex. The newest issue, Gold, just came out with a bunch of really interesting things, including a thing called Trophy Gold, which is a standalone game to be used for old school modules, and is part of this whole trophy series of things, which eventually we'll be doing a Kickstarter for. So that is all my talk about that stuff. Anyway, we take up with our characters having followed up some leads last time. They were in Shinjuku early in the morning. They got locked down in Shinjuku. The cops closed things down. It was through the efforts of Haruto that they were able to find out that there was some corp intervention and the place was being just closed off. And they were able to find out some things about what was going on. Not much, though. The biggest change, of course, came when they found the dead headless body, and followed up on some clues from that. They were able to get a phone. They were able to get a wallet. They were able to find out about the victim having had long, luxurious hair, and that he belonged to some kind of street group, street gang, and got some names and some addresses off of that. The group decided to go to this victim's apartment. They went there. They looked around. They found some evidence of there having been some drugs, of there having been some other weird stuff, reference to a place called Hanzo, some kind of a cult dealing place, and certainly connection with Basho Abe, who seems to be at the center of these things. When they went downstairs, they found the animated head of the headless body, and they had a great time pulling that out from under a street sweeper, and then they were able to set it on fire. Makoto, have I left out any vital details from my brief summary there?
Well, let's see here. I think no, I think it all ended with the skull being brought to heel. Oh
Okay.
wait, that doesn't make any sense. But but yes. So and it seems like it's that the the problem is a nano hair infestation
That seems,
that was strong enough to take the guy's head off.
yeah, that was certainly the simple, normal version of things. Naoki, is there anything that you think I've left out? Nope.
Nope.
Um,
No, I think that's right.
okay. Haruto, anything? I can't hear you actually, Kyle.
I will answer no while Kyle's getting his
Okay,
audio set up.
sure. The one thing I will mention that I just recalled is that there are some corporate operatives who are in the neighborhood on site who are also clearly looking into things. You don't know with what sort of level of discretion or violence. Um, Kyle, let me see if I can hear you now.
Can hear that thunder though.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It was almost like sound effect level thunder.
Yes. If I planned it better, it would have been a big rainy day here. We got some drizzle. Google does this for me sometimes where it goes, you don't have a microphone.
How did we make the connection that it was nanites in the hair?
I believe that in the phone conversation,
I remember the result, but I don't remember how it got there.
right, I think in the phone conversation there was a suggestion that they had gotten something. And I think from Oyamato, and you know that Oyamato works with essentially body improvements, healthcare, nano things for that, nano substances for cleaning up the skin and stuff. I believe that was the way that connection was made. I may be inaccurate, but I do think that that is it.
Christo, I don't know if it's possible for you to turn your volume up, but you are significantly quieter than the other folks for me. I don't think I can do that Hangouts anymore.
No.
Used to just be able to turn everyone else down and turn one person up.
Hold on, I will switch to the other one then.
Sorry, Kyle.
Can't hear you yet, Kyle.
I love early days tech stuff. It's just so much fun. When I ran Jitsi with Worldwide Wrestling on Wednesday, it was a horror show of drops and crashes and multiple breakdowns. No, sorry, Kyle. Are you running a Windows machine, Kyle? I don't know. You may have already tried this, but sometimes I go and check the control panel in Windows and make sure that it is still seeing my microphone. Especially after an update, Windows will sometimes go, no.
Can you hear me better now?
It might be a little quiet.
A little quieter? Wow.
Oh, actually, moving the mic made a big difference.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this definitely doesn't have a volume control on the mic, so there's not much I can do.
Yeah.
Just start yelling when it's
Yeah. I was recording last week, and my mic was like, you know what? I think every once in a while I'm just going to completely spike the volume, the gain on this. I don't know why. I'm just going to randomly do it. And I could watch the waveform as we were recording, and I could see it go real steady, and then even though it was in the same volume, it would just spike out. It's like, Rich is going to love this to edit. Yeah. Why don't you try? May play with the settings, reboot, come back in. We'll get rolling, and then we'll bring you back in if you get that sorted out. So I'm sorry about that, Kyle. All right. So last time we left with the group of you outside this building. Shinjuku is just starting to wake up. You've seen at least one of these hair infected people. You have the name of a person, you have an address. Um, Makoto, uh, what is your mood right now?
Well, she knows that the Shinto wards did cause the thing to flinch and draw back. So there is something supernatural in this. And if these other gangs have this, or gang members might have added hair extensions, so to speak, or something of that sort, um, uh, or something to make them more full, then we might have more problems like this. So, what do you say? I think she's sort of probably all business right now, trying to figure out how she can get hold of the materials and the things that she needs to actually have a more serious Shinto ward put together,
Mm,
just so that since there's multiple members in the gang, that she can keep some of them held.
okay. Um, do you want to make a cultist roll?
Certainly.
And I think we'll make that with intelligence.
Okay. Two cultist in a boost. So 8, 9 dice.
Wait, no, no,
What could
no,
go
no.
wrong?
You roll 2d6 and then add
Oh,
the
done.
yeah.
Wait, but it still says roll an extra die.
Yeah, so you
So
roll
3,
3d6, sorry, with the boost.
sorry. And then add 6. See,
Yep.
1 week, I forget everything.
How can you when this system is so intuitive?
Um, after anything other than PBTA 2d6, nothing is intuitive. Okay. Here we go. I'm rerolling the 3 yellow dice.
Okay.
A 6, a 1, and a 4.
So the 4 is
So,
nothing, the 6 explodes.
yeah. All right. 7. I got another 6. So 13. Does it explode again?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so again. So that's 19.
Okay.
And again, and it is, I am
I'm
watching
watching
it
it
turn
change,
every
yes.
time. Yeah. Okay, so that's 25 at this point. Ah, and then a 3. Yeah,
Thank
phew.
goodness it finally
Okay, so
stopped.
28. Yes.
It's like watching a magic combo. Anyway, so um, you're pretty sure that you know how to create something that, I mean, if you can get to some materials, that you can create something that will create like a barrier.
Mhm.
That's a really good roll. So, what other effect might come out of that? Or what other use could you make besides just putting like a barrier line with this knowledge that you've got? If you can get the materials, what else would you be able to do with it?
Um, I'm going to say that um, well, let's see here. Usually it's banishing or holding, um, doing damage. So we can just make it do damage. I think that's
Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
standard.
That makes sense. Um, Naoki, what is your mood? I mean, uh, there's this smacks a little bit of contagion again.
Mm-hmm. Again.
What are you thinking?
Yeah. And a contagion that seems to be spread by or attracted to people with long hair.
Hello?
Right?
Hey, we can hear you.
Great.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. So what is your take on that?
The little long hair pulled back in a ponytail.
Yes.
So, yeah, so he's a little worried about that. I don't suppose there's a barbershop nearby or anything like that.
I have a scalpel if you are desperate.
It may come to that. And I think Naoki will say we should go to Basho Abe's. That seems to be where this has all started. And we need to get there before the suits.
That seems fair. You do have a pizza truck, and one of you has a motorcycle. Um, uh, Akari, we talked about last time about Akari having seen some stuff. Um, do you think that what you've seen today is more intense, less intense than what you saw before? And how are you reacting to that?
Way more intense. Because it's always been I'm trying to think of the word, like the leftovers, the residue of something strange that could kind of be, oh, well, maybe that's just something I haven't seen. And like this hair possessing a floating skull coming out of every orifice really stretches the ability to rationalize anything. And I think I'm like kind of in shock, like with more withdrawn. Like everyone else is kind of like, what we need to do is this. Let's do this sensible thing. And I'm just kind of like, yes, okay, yeah, okay. Just sort of really withdrawn and not the kind of sassy, spunky attitude that she had before. More of like, I can do things that you tell me to do, but I'm not capable of thinking more than 2 or 3 seconds into the future right now.
And she's got her scalpel. Does she feel like that is enough?
As far as like a self-defense thing,
Yeah, it's like what is your talisman? What are you gripping on to kind of keep your like okay, we can do this a little bit?
I don't know that there is something right now.
That is
like,
a fair answer.
like you see something like that you're not expecting. What do you use to defend yourself? I think probably the thing. Actually, you know what? Let me say the thing that she is gripping onto is the fact that these other people seem competent and way more confident, especially Makoto is like, oh, let me see what sort of occult protections I can do. Like, you have an idea what to do? I'm going to stand behind you.
Let me ask you this one last question here. Your nano ink tattoos, um, do they react at all to your mood, or are they
I
pretty?
don't think they're
Okay.
supposed to, but I think that they are.
And what do we
Like,
see?
We had the, oh gosh, Caduceus? Is that what we decided it
Yeah.
was? Of like the stylized the dragons and stuff. Which, by the way, if you Google, you will see a lot of people have had that idea before me. And I think at this point, like whatever I'm picturing like pixelated kind of like glitch video monitor look now, like kind of like the future version of this snow on old TVs on her skin. I like to think we established where the tattoos were. I'm going to say both biceps.
Okay.
So like it's obvious because she's of course like wearing a vest or something that shows off her tattoos, and it's like she's not hiding her reaction at all.
I like that very much. Haruto, you work a little bit in the what we call the black market, the underground economy, the informal economy of this thing. You're in a neighborhood that is cut off by police. There's some corp people running around. and you've seen this head that you were the one that kind of got in the middle of. What is your mood right now?
I'm freaking out a little bit. Yeah.
And how do we see that? What is the physical, on camera? How does the audience know that you are kind of just on the edge?
Just sort of hanging in the back, like very like twitchy, like reacting to any noise or movements. Just very visibly off kilter.
Okay, that that seems fair. And you've still got that hookup to the police, essentially the video phones, the cameras that are by the police. So you still have ready access to that from your success last time. So, Makoto, you've gotten this information on the ward. Naoki has said going to Abe's. You've got the bigger vehicle. Makoto, what is it you want to do?
Well, I think the first thing is that I want to get the ward set up, and since it's nighttime, what makes sense, because I need to be able to broadcast them, is to actually make something that'll fit into the headlights of our vehicles, so that we can sort of shine that on these things. So essentially, I probably am going to insist on going to a convenience store first to pick up some poster board, so I can make those wards that'll stand up and that we can fit into the headlights.
So you say that to the group, Naoki?
Oh, Naoki's for that because Naoki's thinking he might be able to buy one of those cheap hair trimmers.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So
Naoki has seen what these infections are like, so he may like his hair, but his hair's coming off.
yeah, so you're probably a couple blocks from Popopo, which is a 24-hour convenience store, and you can drive the pizza truck over there. It's that sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Door opens up and it's super air conditioned inside. The shelves are more barren than they would have been. You can, that's just the nature of Japan under the blockade. They've like pushed everything to the front to kind of hide that. And like the magazine rack that is there is like the magazines are well thumbed and worn, and there aren't many new ones. A lot of them are months old there. But there's still that ding dong as you come in, and yeah, you're looking for poster board and like inks to mark up your headlights. Okay.
Yep.
That seems like a thing we don't have to roll for.
Thank you.
And you want to get a hair trimmer?
Hair clippers, yeah.
Hair clippers. Yeah, I think that seems reasonable. They'll at least have some scissors there for you that could be used for cutting your hair. Are you planning on doing that now, or are you going to wait until the last moment?
So the decision is whether or not Naoki is the bait. Is that what this is?
I don't
Okay.
know. Just you had scissors, you have hair.
Yeah, I guess it might, because we're going to have to lure it out into the street, right, Naoki? Okay, he'll buy the scissors and he'll pocket them for now.
Okay. Akara, are you buying anything at the Popopo?
Only if someone gives me a directive, you need to get this. Like, I figure I could find the markers or something. Just going to like markers.
Okay.
Markers.
Grabbing the stuff. Haruto?
I'm just going with the group. They seem to know what they're doing.
Okay.
Haruto, Naoki has a question for Haruto, actually. Haruto, if these are nanites, did the corporate suits have anything to deactivate or take it down or control them? And is there any way you might be able to do it also?
Can I look for that?
Sure. I know that we said that last time that you saw they did have like protective spray on, like anti-nanite protective spray. Um, let's have you roll. Let me think what would be a good roll for this. Um, I don't know what microphotonics does, but I'm gonna make you roll that because you get a 5 in that. Actually, we'll do the hardware with that.
All right.
Do you need the roll for your party?
No, I have that. I'm just. What's my hardware?
So if you look next to microphotonics, you've got hardware
Oh, okay.
7.
I see.
You've got expertise. You get to reroll the lowest die.
Okay.
And we'll do that with intelligence.
I got. I rolled a 16, so that's a 21, I guess.
Okay. So you will. There's a couple of things you'll realize. One is that certainly whatever is happening with the nanites has to be something beyond the programming. So there's a certain amount that you can do, but maybe not everything. You suspect that if these agents do have, they are here for this and they know what they're going for, they'll definitely have in their phone or their PDA or whatever, they'll probably have a kill code for the nanites, or control code. So if you can get near them, you might be able to hack their signal, pick that up, and use that. So, and we'll say that you can. Do you imagine they have a Palm thing, or what do you have that's probably you're using for doing this kind of hacking?
I kind of assumed I had like a smartphone or some equivalent.
Yeah, so you can quickly pull up a couple apps, get that set so that when you need to, you can do that quickly on the fly, do a drop listen, pick up the numbers and things like that. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So Makoto, do you imagine that? Well, here, let me offer you this. I think that the ward that you can put on the headlights will be okay, with the cutouts and things like that. If you were willing to like change the headlights like a little more dramatically, like actually have maybe Haruto mechanically work on that, they would be more effective. But then you would have these wards on your headlights
Forever and ever.
till you get
This
them
does not-
replaced.
Yeah. This does not bother me.
Okay.
I would ask him to do that.
Haruto, I'm going to make another roll here, just because it's roll till you die. If I could have you roll your car mechanics skill.
All right. And sixes explode.
6
so
explodes.
I got 17.
17. So yeah, you pop out the LED lights. You reprogram them. You get the little cutouts and ink, and you now have these permanent Shinto like prayer strip ward signs that broadcast out from the headlights.
Basically,
say
it's a
that-
good policy, I think. So, there's no problem with that. Can we do anything with your tattoos?
I love it. Yeah. Definitely going to need to be in a slightly better place to be able to rearrange them. So, like, how are you going to calm me down and talk me off the ledge on this one?
I think that she'll do the basic thing. in school we all did ink drawing, right? That's art school. So she'll get some of the cheap brushes from the Papopo and some of the ink, and she'll have you draw them on the paper so you know the sign. Just like have you do it over and over again until you kind of calm down. And she goes, "You can do this with your tattoo."
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Do you want me to roll something for that level?
Yeah, actually, you know what? This seems like the kind of precise thing you need to get right. I'm going to have you roll your surgery, since in some ways that reflects your ability. Let's have you roll surgery plus dexterity.
Dexterity is 2, and I gotta remember expertise. I need to reroll my lowest die. Okay, they both came up 4s, so I guess I get to reroll one of those.
Yep.
And it came up a 4 again, so...
But it does equal a 4 because of your expertise.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's what it means, 4 equals 4.
Yeah. So they look okay. You get them, you get the tats okay, but they're probably still futzing out a little bit from your panic state. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. So we will cut to the group heading over to... Yes.
I was thinking, are there cans of hairspray?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the cheapest hairspray.
Oh,
Okay, good. Then
absolutely.
then Naoki's gonna stock up on that and lighters.
Okay. Yeah, lighters are probably pricey, just because the fuel on those. Probably to get those electric lighters that aren't that great, but you've got them. And you will ride over to Abe's building, and we'll cut a few blocks away, heading down, and when you get there, it's all of these buildings have been, changed. They're old. They've been rebuilt. This is clearly an apartment building, and whoever has owned this place for the last 20, 30 years has clearly tried to do like DIY modifications to it. So there's like projected window units and holographic stuff that all kind of doesn't work. There's like amateur venting on the outside to try and increase the AC. It is a building that is clunky. It looks like there are serious problems. You're guessing that internally they've probably cut apartments into smaller blocks and sort of done little hidey holes and things like that. And even when you kind of poke your head in the front door, you can see that the hallway doesn't go straight. It kind of goes and then jags and turns and so on. And at least down here on this first floor, it's permadamp. Okay, like everything feels kind of wet and moist. It's not that wet outside, so whatever system they've done to do the AC or whatever is like leaking all of the liquid down here to this first floor. Naoki, what do you do? I'm going to start with you.
So we have the exact apartment number, correct?
Yeah, up on the 4th floor of this place.
Okay. Does it have a fire escape?
It doesn't have a fire escape per se, but it wouldn't be that difficult to clamber up on all the garbage that's kind of hooked on the outside of the building.
Yeah. So I think that's what I think Naoki say. You go up the front. I'll sneak up the back and listen. And we have some means of communication. Did we determine that? I think,
Yeah,
didn't we?
yeah.
Okay. So I can like let them know what I can see from the outside of the apartment.
Okay. So you're going to climb up. Haruto staying down here, going inside. What is your? How are you imagining?
I think I'll stick with the detective. He seems the most like capable.
Okay. So, are you following around? Are you going up? Are you also going to try and climb?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And that leaves Makoto and Akari. Where are you two?
I think, um, I think she shows Akari how to work the headlights. And she goes, "We're gonna need someone down here. Would that be okay? Or do you want to come with me?"
I would like to stay together.
Okay, then that's what we do.
Okay.
And you'll see Makoto, who has like these egregiously high, um, sort of, I don't know, those Lolita shoes. They're kind of big, clumpy platform, but they're cute. She sort of takes those off and she goes, like, even though it's damp and everything, she goes in there in her stocking feet so she doesn't have to run in those.
And that's the thing. You'll step in there, and after a little bit, you'll get that squelch of wet socks, um, where you would expect, like, that actually kind of stains the socks like a weird yellow ochre, like right away as you go in. Um, Naoki, let's have you roll athletics.
Okay, that'll be a 2.
And I think well, all your stats are 2d6, so
Right.
we'll go with that.
What is it? The 2 ends up adding 2 to the roll. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Not my best stat. Ooh, that's 2 6s.
What?
Yeah. So this might not go so bad. So that's already 14.
Okay.
So that makes it 20.
Okay. I think with a 20, Haruto doesn't need to roll to follow up behind you. Like you found the right space. Describe to me what that looks like. How do we see you scaling up this building with all of this junk and vents and things on the outside?
I guess it's just the trick that it's a lot easier than it looks because you don't focus on what's on front, you focus on the things behind it. So we're actually trying to get behind whatever the advertisements are and climbing up in it, and then it's like sort of like a jungle gym.
Okay. Yeah. Get up behind. There are some places to brace. You kind of have to watch where some of the wires cross in areas. But you will get your way up to the fourth floor, and kind of move around, and you get to one of those tinted windows. Like they clearly can do the tinting on the inside. You're pretty sure that with your role that this is the apartment that you're looking for. Now you could try to go in this, or you could go try to get to like a hallway window and go in that way. What do you want to try and do?
No, I think as Makoto is going up the stairs, Naoki says, "Ring the bell so that they come to the door." And then the idea being then Naoki will sneak in while Makoto is distracting them.
So in that case, let's get back to Makoto, shall we? Makoto, as you kind of move through here, you can see that, again, sort of half-assed, put together sections of this building, like overlay rooms and things. You can see where there are a couple of like narrow spaces that haven't been filled in particularly well, where you probably see some people looking out like they're squatters. They found a gap. They've pulled the section aside, and they're using that to crash, and so people are definitely watching you. It doesn't look like there's an in-service elevator, and so you're walking up. When you hit the second landing, you see coming down the stairs towards you this older guy, kind of paunchy, shorts, flip flops, kind of knobby, elbowed and kneed, and you will see that he is kind of grabbing at the wall as he's coming down to balance himself, and you will see that there is this bright red mark around his neck, and you see his hair is kind of doing this wavering thing. It's not particularly long, but it's moving on its own.
Is he under attack, or is he already?
You don't. He's not being attacked right this second. What do you do?
She sort of stops and she's like, "Are you okay, sir?"
And he kind of registers the noise, and you see him stop, and you see him kind of clearly try to look at you, like reflexively, like maybe he can't see anymore, and he holds onto the wall, and he starts to turn his head.
Yeah, okay. And so that's the thing is I think she puts her hand behind her to warn Akari that she's coming down. She's going to give him a little bit more room than where she was, where her voice was,
Okay.
and essentially see what. I mean, she doesn't know, but she's supposed to get up there. So,
All right. You will see his head turn, and it keeps turning like an owl. And you will hear the crunch of bone and the ripping of flesh. Can I have you make a will roll for me here?
oh, you're so unkind.
I am.
Okay, so will 3. And it's just a straight will roll.
Straight will roll.
Me too, or just Makoto?
Just her, because she's the one seeing this right this second. You will in a moment, potentially.
So 4, that's not helpful, and then 2 2s, so 4 as the total.
So, this is like nothing you've seen before. As this body starts to do this, and I don't think you can move past it. Like that,
Nope.
that is not going to happen. So, what do you do?
Let's see here. God, I do want to get past it.
But your body is
on the
telling you
stairs.
no.
Right. So, well, I think I'll do the thing that my body is telling me, and I probably grab Akari's hand and retreat down the stairs.
Okay. Oh, so
Okay,
Akari is
just to
with
get-
you. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yes, we
I
stuck
apologize.
together.
I misremembered that. Yeah, Akari, let us have you make that will roll.
I mean, I'm gonna run away. What we get here?
It's how good of a state you're in when you're.
Oh, got a 6, so that'll explode. I'm at a 9 right now. And another 6, so that's a 15. 16. So later, Makoto, I'm just gonna walk right by this guy while he's like.
I think what it is like, as much as anything, Makoto is reacting to the sound and the visible flesh and gore as this head starts to twist off of this thing. And while that's unnatural, you've been in trauma situations. You've seen this as a resident. So perhaps some of that clicks in for you and shuts down the big panic. Makoto starts to move down. Akari, what do you do?
So yeah, I think actually this kind of like galvanizes her a little bit. Like, oh, okay, this is the landscape. and now's my chance. So I think I'm gonna go at this guy and start attacking him.
Okay. Let's have you roll hand to hand plus dexterity, I think. Is your intent to knock them down, drop them down the gap in the stairs, stab them? What is it you want to do?
I think I want to knock him out of the way
Okay.
so we can keep going and, like, if possible, knock him off the landing and cause injury, but mostly to clear the way.
Okay.
That is a 12.
That is a 12. That seems like a moderate success. So I think if your intent is to knock them down, I think that's a simple effect. So you can knock them, and they will do that thing with that kind of bone crunching sound as they hit the stairs and roll down to the landing because they clearly don't have complete control of their body. Makoto, this thing kind of falls near you. Do you run up to follow up behind Akari?
Yeah, I will stick with Akari, but I mean, she's like, how do you say? She's probably on the nauseous side.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
that got a little too, like knowing how this actually works on some person.
And as you running up those stairs to the fourth floor, probably hear still that sound of that body twisting and turning, echoing up that hallway, stairwell rather. And you can get up to that fourth floor. Naoki, Haruto, you two are kind of on the outside of the building, waiting for this. Maybe hearing some of the squelch and sound coming through your headphones. Haruto, are you doing anything while you're waiting?
I guess I'll try to hack in, see if there are any internal cameras or something I can.
Sure. Let's have you go ahead and roll surveillance system with intelligence.
Got a 10.
A 10. So I think the internal cameras are really messed up on this building. But I do think that external cameras, as you cycle through that, you can see those ops, those agents that you saw before. They are half a block away and coming this direction. Does that seem like a fair info?
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna tell the rest of the team oh crap, the guys are coming. Yeah.
And Makoto goes, well, that's good, but we just don't want to get caught within their cordon.
Makoto, Akari, you're at this door. Hit the buzzer, right? Or something else?
No, we know that it's noise that they're going to react to, at least early on. Not super sophisticated. So yeah, I think the buzzer does make sense.
Okay. So you will hit that buzzer. It does a lovely chiming digital sound inside the apartment.
I expected something far less lovely and shiny.
And you'll probably hear some movement, and you get like behind the door, but the door doesn't open, and nobody speaks through the comm.
And I think she'll text Naoki, and she'll go, they're probably pretty far along in the just heads mode, so watch your ankles.
I'll try the door to see if it is locked and closed.
It is closed and locked. It's not that secure a door. Could conceivably try and break it in or do something to the lock, but it is locked right this second.
I think Naoki's going to try and sneak in, if
Okay.
that's possible,
So what?
and watch the floor for any little heads running around.
So what do you think the role is for getting this window open? On the outside of the building as you're kind of out here. Is that athletics?
Nah, that would be either
Ooh.
sneaking or lockpicking.
Let's do lockpicking.
Okay. It's 5 with a boost. What does the boost do for me again?
Boost gives you an extra
roll
die.
Nice. That means I get 3. Okay. And the force drop, right? So that's a 7 plus 5 is what it was, right? So that's 12.
12. So I think you will get this open, and can pop it, and you can see this decent looking apartment, but it's a mess. Like it is a mess. There's food wrappers and takeaway boxes and just this weird smell. You can see that the window opens up into the room where there's the futon, and you will see that someone has clearly tried to clean up, but someone has been sick here in the last 48 hours. And with Haruto moving behind you, kind of looking, you can see down, because it's not that big an apartment. You'll see at the front door, you'll see this young woman, kind of shaky, close-cropped hair, is standing looking through the little view thing out at who's on the other side. You don't have line of sight on the kitchenette or the bathroom right now.
Well, then goal is to sneak in.
Okay.
See what we can find.
You got a 12, so I think that's not a problem. Haruto, you're following up behind? Okay.
Yes.
Makoto, Akari, what are you two doing? I mean, imagine that you are getting, what the others are doing. So how are you handling the situation at that point?
So we do know there's someone at the people then.
Yeah.
Then I guess what we want to do is try to keep that person as distracted as possible right now.
Yeah. We'll just wave. Say, are you okay?
And you will...
No, say it so she can hear it through
Right.
the door.
You will hear, who are you?
Is it the area's cordoned off? But we found... What was the name of the guy that we found?
That was Nagaharu, I believe.
We found Nagaharu's head. We came to find out what was happening.
I'm a doctor. I can help with whatever is going on.
Makoto giggles.
It's only like 40% alive.
Okay. Let's have Makoto. Let's have you roll charisma plus empathy. I think for Akari helping, let's throw another die in.
Okay.
I think the doctor line actually is going to land.
And you said it's plus empathy?
Yep.
Oh, is that a skill people have?
It's under communication.
Oh, there it is. I have a 6 and expertise. Okay, so that gives me 4 dice. No, 3 dice. 2 dice. 3 dice. 3 dice.
You have
Just
charisma
roll
3, and the additional help from Akari is going to give you an additional 1.
Right. Right. So that gives me, I get to roll my lowest die, and that's good because I have a very low die. Okay. Okay, that was a 4, so canceled out. So I have a 5 total.
Doesn't the 4 with expertise, a 4 equals a 4
Oh.
when you reroll the lowest die?
Yep.
Excellent. Then I have a 9.
9. Is that including the number for your empathy?
No.
So you have 15.
Okay. Oh, I'm really empathetic. I thought my giggle had ruined it for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
This magic black box system of dice. Look at that. It's like a miracle
Now
occurs.
it's just not scanning this morning. I'm sorry. I've only had half a cup of coffee.
So you will hear her say, something's wrong with Basho. And she will open the door, and you two will see this young woman. She looks panicked. She's wearing like a janitorial uniform. You'll realize for Oyamato. And she says, I think he's hurting people. He got sick, and then he went out, and when he came back, he argued with the landlord, and then he went back out again.
Can we see Haruto and Naoki? Are they
Yep.
currently sneaking in?
Over the shoulder, yeah. You see
Okay.
them.
So definitely, I put a hand on her shoulder to try to control where she's turning, but also as an empathetic move,
Okay.
be like, it could be very serious, but it might not be too far gone for us to help. Do you know where he went?
I'm going to cut from that before she answers back to Naoki and Akari. What are you doing? Are you tossing the place? Quietly?
First question, I guess. Do we know what Basho Abe looks like?
Yeah, you got a picture of him.
So it wasn't the guy that was coming down the stairs, right?
No.
Okay. Okay, so... But so she said he went out again, so he's not here now.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Then... Yeah, I get clues. You know, what would the tech be, or hair, or anything like that? Anything that would help us figure out what this thing is and how to deal with it, any more than what we already know, that is.
Okay. Let's have you roll searching.
Which, as an investigator, you'd hope I'd be better at than I am. Okay, 3.
These pre-gens
Yeah, I know.
are wild.
Yeah.
For
Like,
what?
Oh, I'm a private investigator. Oh, I've got a 2 in searching. Yes. Oh, okay, but I'm lucky. I got 1 6.
Okay.
So. And that came up before, so that didn't help. So it's 11 13.
Okay. And then, what are you doing, Haruto, while this is going on? Your talents are a little more hacking and electronics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess just help search too.
Okay. Well, let's have you roll electronics. Essentially, just to check the data pads, pull up info, that kind of thing.
All right. Got a 10.
Okay. So, Naoki, what's your first question? What is it you want to learn here? What's your first question? I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give Haruto 1. We'll alternate.
Well, the thing that I find puzzling is, why is the girl not infected? Why is the young woman not infected? But I don't know if there's any way I could determine that.
I actually think that one of the things... I'm sorry, I missed that last part of your question.
No, you were asking a question. I think we had a little bit of a lag.
Oh. So I think you've got, you see she has short hair.
Mm-hmm.
You heard him talk about the landlord. You heard him talk, to her talk about that. You think that whatever is going on it's not like necessarily a direct like contamination thing. Like Basho must be actually attacking people. And
Yeah.
when the attack actually happens, seems to be the contamination. And it does suggest to you that he has some kind of consciousness still left, some kind of control if he didn't attack her.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem like a fair answer to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Haruto, what's your question?
Don't suppose there's any evidence where he might be now?
I think what you will see is that there is a lot of medication around here, of like some of it is the equivalent of Japanese Robitussin, but some of it is more questionable stuff, and there's definitely some drugs around here, Boost and Choosy and Blackout, and you're guessing whatever is going on with this guy through his system, he is probably looking for a fix. Something is clearly messing with his system, so he is probably out there going to his dealer at this point. And back to you, Naoki. I'm going to give you a second question.
Okay, you said she was wearing a janitor uniform, but it was not the same company as the suits that are coming in,
Oh, it
correct?
is. It should be the same company. I think I probably got the name wrong on that.
Oh, okay. So is it Oyamato or is it, because I think I had previously Okada-kan?
Oh, Okada-kan. Thank you.
Okay.
Oyamato's in the other game, the Sprawl game. So sorry.
Okay. Oh, we're doing crossovers now. Okay.
No. Too much cyberpunk in 1 week. I haven't learned my lesson on that. So. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's Okada-kan. Like that's not a question. That's one you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is your question?
Um, does she have her badge on her, or is it lying around in something I could filch?
Oh yeah, I think her security badge is laying off to the side, and you can easily pocket that.
Okay.
I'm going to cut back to Makoto and Akari, and she goes, "I don't know. He he he's been sick, and I brought him some medicine, and he'd been taking some other things that he got, and he's just been going through it like he's been burning through it today. And I think he may have gone to Roomies. Maybe
Homies. Okay. We'll need to know where that is.
it's
And she'll go,
a club. It's a laser pachinko club. Um,
okay. And she goes, listen, there are some corp agents from Okada-kun closing in on this building. Did you take something from Okada-kun?
and her face will get pale, and she says, he'd been sick for so many days, and they had this new health upgrade thing in the test, and I took some of that.
So you should probably leave now. Okay.
And I think, yes, Akari?
Did you get a chance to apply it for Basho?
And she pauses, and she's clearly put two and two together that this is when all this started. And she says, I gave it to him, and he got better. And then this all started to happen.
you should definitely get moving.
She nods. I think that's the point at which you two will hear down the stairwell kind of a whooshing sound, like maybe some sort of device or some kind of weapon goes off, and you will smell kind of rolling up the stairwell this acrid stench of burning hair.
And I'm like, let's go out the window.
And I think Naoki takes the cue and four don't see us as they go by.
Okay. We are going to take our 5 minute break here, and we'll follow up on that. So let's take 5. Yeah, these pre-gens are very odd. It's as I look at them and I'm like, what kind of game is this game? Is this thing imagining for these pre-gens?
Yeah, I'm the PI. My intimidation is 4. Makoto's intimidation is 5 with a boost.
Don't get this.
I am particularly scary, though. Look at that eye makeup.
Well, I guess if you play the whole occult thing to the T, then yes.
And it's not like those points are going into stats. All the stat, matrices
I don't
end
have
up
a chance to do your sleight of hand yet either.
so weird. I do hope that eventually they do a print-on-demand version. They have the PDF on drive-through, and now for over a year they've been going, oh, we'll get it to a POD version soon, with no success. So you get the sort of the signal, Akari Naoki, that the group is going to go out the window. What do you two do? Are you exposing yourself, or how are you doing this?
I'm gonna try to get out the window before they notice me.
Okay. And Naoki?
I think Naoki will take up the rear. I think Naoki will dodge to the side so they can pass through.
Okay. In that case, Haruto, let's have you make a dexterity roll.
All right.
It's pretty good for you.
Got an 8.
An 8. Okay. And one of the things is the stat rolls actually add a bonus based on your number of dice. So going down is not quite as fun as climbing up here. Are you more interested in getting down fast or getting down safely?
Fast.
Okay. Then I'm going to roll a die here. Then go ahead and take 4 points of damage.
All right.
Tell me what happens. How is it? Is it a scrape? Is it a fall? What?
I think as I'm like heading out, I kind of like lose my hand on the ladder and just like fall a bit.
Okay, yeah. Come down hard, but don't actually twist your ankle. Naoki, this woman, of course, turns around to go, and you're still in line of sight, right? So she does like freak out because there shouldn't be anybody else in the apartment. And she's just been told that there are agents coming for her.
Mm-hmm. So Naoki says, come on, you gotta go fast. We gotta get out of here fast. I'll help you get down. So I'm fast talking.
Okay, let's have you do that to calm her so that she will like if she goes out the window, she's not going to be crazed about it.
Right. So let's see, fast talk 4. It is sort of nice that all my stats are the same, so I never have to think about that. Okay, I rolled a 4 and a 2, so the 4 disappears. So I got a 2 plus a 4, so I got a 6.
So she does. I mean, she's been told to go out the window. She does run past you, but she's also freaked out. And Makoto, Kari, you see this woman. And her name is Yoko. Yoko runs to the window and goes out. It looks like she's probably not in full control of her faculties right this second. Makoto, Akari, what do you do?
I mean, she's headed in the right direction at
Yep.
least, so I'm following behind. I didn't want to go down those stairs even before the agents were coming.
Okay.
We know what else is down there.
Makoto, also, are you waiting or are you going also?
Oh no, I will go. I'm not thrilled with it, but this is my lot in life this evening.
All right, I'm gonna roll. Like, I'm actually put a die out here for myself here for the GM. Let's do that in red, and we're gonna roll that. So she goes down the thing, but when she hits that like last floor, she falls, and you will see she that in a 10-foot fall where she lands essentially on her arm. And from where you're at, you two can hear that. Um, can I have Makoto and Akari make dexterity rolls? If you have athletics or anything like that, you can roll that.
I have martial arts. What? Oh boy.
What'd you get, Makoto? You muted.
I got a 5.
Got a 5. And Akari?
13.
13. So you make it down without a problem. Makoto, what happens at the second floor? You're muted again. Take a drink.
Stop it. Sorry. So she's being very careful because she's very bad at this, but that doesn't help her when she hits one of those sort of places where you have to hold on to one of the supports that's behind the sign. But people have been climbing up and down this all day, and it wasn't made as a handhold. And so while she's holding on to it, that's when it chooses to go. All very fast, and she sort of slides down that wall. She manages to catch something later on, but she's all scraped up
And by
or
catch something, I think something catches her, metal and
good.
sharp as you go down, for 10 points of damage.
Oh.
Where do you get hit? What happens there?
I think, let's see, if you're falling like that and she's probably twisting to try to get a hold of something, I'm figuring it probably hits her like, because she's actually got like that against the wall.
Okay.
And so, yeah. And it goes in pretty deep because it's all muscle, right? So there's, yeah. And so then she has to pull herself up off of it before she can.
Yeah. It's the moment we have to brace and figure out how you lift yourself so you don't tear it, and then have to lift yourself off. And on screen we'll see the blood just start pouring out.
Yeah, and then her socks are not ochre yellow now; they're red.
They're red. Yeah.
It's a more celebratory color.
Naoki, if you want to go down regular speed, I won't have you roll. If you want to go down fast, I will.
After seeing all this, I think what he wants to do before he goes down is he wants to go and maybe peek out in the stairwell to see well, no, he doesn't want to do that. He's going to lock the door.
Oh,
He's
okay.
going to shut and lock the door and then go down.
Yeah. Think you'll shut and lock the door, and by the time you run and get to the window, you will hear the sound of what you will know is like a force baton hitting against the lock on the thing. Essentially, they've gotten to the door and they are just boom. They're not even asking questions. They are just hammering the door open.
And we didn't see like the remains of whatever the medicine was that she gave to.
Do you want to stop and look for that now? That wasn't one of your questions.
No, it wasn't, but I didn't think of the medicine.
You've got a chance. Do you want to try and find that quickly?
Um, yeah, it
Okay.
could save us a lot of time.
Let's have you roll search.
Oh God, the PI that doesn't know how to search. Okay. I forget. Yeah, I don't have any boost or anything with that. It's just like a straight thing. Yeah, that's 4.
That is a 4.
Oh no, sorry, 5.
That is a 5. So I think, yes, you find it. But that is the point at which the door comes open, even as you grab onto what's clearly like a nano containment vial. You're at the window, and as soon as that door comes open, you will see one of these, the other person, the other two agents, come in, and he sees you, and you'll hear the as he fires off this needler, like a very expensive gun. What is your defense number?
The defense is 14 because
Okay.
because I have athletics dodge 4. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So I'm going to reroll those. So this fires that off, and you will hear the shatter of the polymer plastic of the wall as these needle rounds go into that, but he misses you. Do you want to go down fast? Here's the deal I'm going to make you. Go down fast and succeed? Great, you get away. Go down regular, they're going to get one more shot at you.
Yeah, it's gonna be fast.
Okay, then let's have you go ahead and roll athletics. And then I want to cut and then see people on the ground.
That actually literally could not have been worse. I rolled a 4 and a 1. So that's a 3.
Okay. What goes wrong?
I say he decided he was the knife into the sail thing going down an ad board, but the filament's a lot thinner than he thought it would be, so it didn't slow him down enough, so he really crashes down hard.
And you are lucky because I rolled 3d6 for damage, and you take 6 points of damage.
Oh. So it must have landed on somebody. Okay.
Haruto, you were the first person to hit the ground. So you've got a little more time to do something, to set something up, to get moving. What are you doing? Waiting for the others, or are you on the move, or are you doing something?
I'd like to pull the car around, but I don't have the keys, so I guess I'm just gonna hide around the corner and get ready to run when the rest get down here.
Let me ask you this: you're a hacker. Do you think you could call the pizza van?
Oh yeah, I probably could, couldn't
Okay.
I? I'll do that.
Okay. That's such an easy thing because you already worked on the van earlier tonight. If you hadn't, I might make you roll, but I think you can call it. It probably takes you a second to realize how unbalanced this thing is, but it will take that hot turn. The camera on the inside of it shows the dough and stuff flying around as you make that turn. Akari, you hit the ground. You're great. You're fine. And then you see Makoto come down, and you see the blood. What do you do?
I'm immediately by her side, seeing if there's any quick triage I can do while still getting us out of here. Like kind of looking up at seeing. Actually, is Yoko out, or was Makoto the next person?
Yoko is out. She like hit her shoulder. She's getting up. Her arm is clearly hanging limp, but she is still moving. And
Makoto is not moving.
Makoto is up, but
Fine.
blood.
Okay. And I know we're still waiting on Naoki, so I'm seeing if there's anything I can do for Makoto quickly, because obviously we need to get going and kind of like trying to judge, can Makoto even be moved, or is this injury too serious, like
Let's have you
to
make
let him move?
let's have you make a medicine roll with intelligence, representing that you don't have space to really do or time to do full surgery.
Sad as cat.
Uh,
I believe that is 13.
13. So let's have you roll a d6 a plus 2. See for hits you can get back to her.
Is a 4 a 0 on this?
No, it's a regular.
Okay. 6.
So 6 points. And what do you have, like dermals, or is it just makeshift? What do you imagine?
See, I think in the time that we have, it's probably like a dermal application. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you'll get that slapped on there. When Naoki hits the ground after doing his stunt cut down there that worked, you will probably not hear the sound of the gun, but you'll see the evidence of the fragments blowing off of the other wall, as somebody's clearly firing off needler rounds down here. And I assume the three of you dive into the pizza van. Then can I just have you make a driving roll, Makoto?
Certainly. I look forward to this every time.
I do too.
Yes.
What is Yoko doing? Did she follow us, or
she's she's
Look at her
trying to
again.
stick with you. Yeah, she's trying to stick with you just because she has no sense of where else to go.
4 and okay, and then this is going to be an interval because I have to drive somewhere where I can lose them quickly, right? Double 4s. Which means that I get a 4 total.
So Haruto, you've remotely driven the car around, gotten the van around. It comes. You guys leap, grab onto the side of it. Makoto jumps behind the driver's seat, hits the gas, and immediately drives into a wall. Like it jump guns, and the alley is sticky, and it does that thing where it hits against the wall, and it does that thing where it's kind of stuck.
Okay.
Now you four have a choice at this point. You could try to extricate this, probably take all four of you lifting it to get it back, or you could leave it and get out of here.
Can't leave the pizza van.
I mean, I think we know Makoto's not going to want to leave it, so we have to at least try. And if we can get it out, that might ultimately be faster.
Okay. I don't think there's a roll. I think that the consequence is that when you get moving, these guys are hot on your heels. Also, I think the consequence for this essentially is going to be that Naoki has the container, and that's probably the thing that has the RFID chip in it that they are tracking.
Oh, okay.
But yet the laser pachinko parlor, Rumi's, is at the other end of Shinjuku. The four of you can heft this pizza van up and get rolling. Makoto, you're a little more restrained in your driving at this point.
Yes.
As you five jammed into this thing or hanging on the side, um, Akari, do you call your bike? We established that you could call it.
Not my bike.
That's
Oh,
my bike.
oh, that's right.
Rick.
Haruto has the bike. Haruto, do you call your bike?
Yes.
Okay. So it will come rolling so that it's only four of you on the pizza truck. Um, Naoki, Akari, are you doing anything as you're doing this 5 o'clock in the morning rapid drive through Shinjuku in this pizza van, desperately trying to get to the laser pachinko parlor?
I don't think I can do much more than just try to hold on.
Okay, fair enough. And Naoki?
I think looking at the pizza van and the motorcycle, he'll turn to Haruto and says, "Can I ride with you?" I have done the pizza van before.
Ride with me? I mean, sure, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So I'll hop on back.
Hop on the back. Start driving. Of course, your hair, beautiful hair, will whip in the wind.
I got it tied back in a ponytail.
Oh, but it'll be catch on that. Got that like a windsock back behind you. As the two of you ride, Yoko will probably lean against you, Akari. You can see that she is kind of just going into shock right now. And you in pizza van and motorcycle will drive past a building. People are doing that thing where they're just raising the grates on the fronts of places. There's a little bit of a market here, but you can already hear that actually now crowds are starting to gather because people should be arriving here in Shinjuku, and there's a police cordon. People are getting up to start their businesses, and they're hearing that there are people who live here who work elsewhere. And so the streets are starting to get noisier, more crowded, and more upset. And the van and the motorcycle will pull up outside of this place. It is more than most buildings around here. It is almost completely obscured by ad screens. Like there's a door, but everything else is ad screens going up all around it, like they've encased it, all doing different channels, all that. But there also there are layers of that augmented reality adverts and blipverts that are running outside of it. So there's this menagerie of things. It is seizure inducing, to say the least, as you pull up. And there's just the one door for the parlor when you drive up. It does look like it is closed right now. They haven't opened for the day. Makoto?
So essentially, I guess we got to get this situation extracted. So I probably will go up to the door and see if I can get anyone to. Can I get in? Is it open? I mean, it's a pachinko palace. I didn't even know they closed. So.
The door is not locked.
Okay. That's good news.
What are the other three doing?
Right behind Makoto.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like if Basho is our infection vector, we need to get to him ASAP.
I'm following too.
Okay. Naoki, what are you doing?
Same thing.
Okay.
I mean, we're all sticking together.
Right.
I'm picturing I've put whatever the whatchamacallit, the medicine into like a small satchel backpack that
Okay.
I probably have.
And you will come in. The place is like clearly they shut down for a few hours to do cleaning in the morning. But you come in. This place smells of vape and old tobacco and so on. And the what passes for carpet here is that kind of worn down. Maybe it actually had some pile to it at some point, but the years have not been kind. And You will see all of these pachinko machines are all running, the lights flashing, the noise of that. There are rows of these. There's no one in them, but you can see, even though the lights are dim, you can see there's light coming from what's clearly a back office, and the four of you can move through that landscape pretty well. You will see as you approach that back office that there is a body laying on the ground. And looks like this guy, he's laid out, looks like might have been a 20 something security guy, and he has the sort of the marks of strangulation on his neck, the broken veins and the red marks there. And the body is just laid out. Moderate length hair, not anything special about it.
It's not moving?
It's not moving yet, no.
Okay, great. Step around that, and we can see the open door. Can we see in there?
Yeah. Um, the others are following behind. You will see that there is the sort of very typical office meeting room for this kind of place. Low table, two couches facing each other, a desk, um, and you will see that there are a couple of other bodies in there. You can see feet like laying out, and you'll see this guy seated at one of those couches by the table, and he's got this pile of pharmaceuticals, drugs, pharmaceuticals, that kind of thing. And his hair is probably about 3.5 feet long. It's beautiful. It glistens. It's dark. It moves with the wind. There's no wind, and it's just kind of flows around him, like a mane around him, and he is just picking up drugs and injecting, snorting, drinking, whatever. He is just like going through those. What do you do, Akari?
I am definitely kind of a little bit behind Makoto at this point, because there are clearly forces at work that she is more well versed in than I am. So I'm looking to her for a cue on like what do we think we should be doing here.
Makoto?
And I think she stops and she goes, I should probably pack those up and go back to Yoko.
And so,
She's still a good ways away,
okay.
and she's wary, and she's ready to dodge because she doesn't know how long that hair actually is,
Okay.
if that makes any sense.
I assume Yoko is in the van
Yes.
at this point. Naoki, Haruto, I just want to get a sense of where your position. Are you holding back? You're around the edge? Are you visible? Where are you at, Haruto?
I'm hanging back.
Okay. And kind of back a ways. And you, Naoki?
I'm probably watching the door.
Okay. You mean the front door?
Front door.
Okay. Makoto, he turns, like stands up and turns to face you, and you will realize that his body is kind of moving, but it's actually the hair that lifts him up. And the body kind of turns, and doesn't have the same thing where the hair behind the eyes or anything like that. There's still like a glimmer of intelligence there, um, but uh, it will turn and your defense number is a 10, and you are actively dodging, right?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm going to roll for the hair.
Oh, great.
Let me do this. Let me get a couple more dice.
I never thought I'd
We
hear
need
you
more
say that.
dice.
I'm going to roll for the hair.
Yes. Okay. Well, that is a 1, a 2, and a 3 on 3 dice. So a section of this hair whips out. Like it comes out, and it looked to you like it was only 3, 4.5 feet long, but it extends when it comes at you. And it hits, and you duck back like it is clearly going to grab at you, and like go to grab your neck, go to grab your hair as you dodge back.
Awesome. Can I slam the office door on it?
Oh, you want to catch it with that?
I
Sure.
just want to delay it so that we can run outside, turn the headlights on, but
Oh,
have it follow us. So
oh,
I want to infuriate it.
okay. Here's what I'll let you do. I'll let you roll dexterity with your martial arts because I'm a generous GM.
Oh, that's not very generous, but I'll give it a try. Uh, why would you say dexterity? Okay. I mean, it makes complete sense.
It
But...
does. I was going to say.
And I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4.
So
So you've dodged, but you go to do that to throw the door, and that hair slams into it, like slams and knocks that door open. Akari, what do you do?
I'm running.
Okay.
I'm getting away from here.
Then let's have you roll reflexes here.
Oh, that is a separate set. Okay.
Yeah.
That one I'm particularly good at. 6.
6. So you are running. This thing is moving hot on the heels. Hair is, we see it kind of, the hair do the POV shot as it's moving, roiling towards you.
Very Evil Dead kind of
Yes.
shot there. Yeah.
Haruto, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna try to shock it with my baton thingy.
Okay. Let's have you roll with your dexterity.
Uh, 8.
8. So you will get that baton out, and you kind of lean in, crackling, try to hit it, but this thing kind of whips back as you do that. And Naoki, what do you do?
So I was standing, I guess, outside the office door, looking at the front door. So I'm seeing them come out of the office, is what it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the hair thing's coming after them.
Yeah, and it's like there is a section of this hair, the one of them that is trying to grab a Makoto, another one that is chasing down Akari, and then another that's kind of roiling, clearly going to slap back at Haruto.
Okay. So we're saying like the hair just sort of like
It's split. I mean, he hasn't even come out of the room, and the hair is just growing.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out the hairspray and a lighter and gonna light them up. Gonna.
I'm gonna have you roll firearms, not handguns, but firearms.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Sense. What's it doing? Oh, okay. That was really weird. Did you see the dice spin, 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 spin?
That happens every once in a while.
Okay. So anyway, it's a 4 though. Oh, that's so frustrating.
You
So
have a
that's a 9.
boost. Did you take your boost? Oh no, you don't have a boost. You have a boost with firearms. So that's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that out. This is not a accurate weapon, and you need to get up close. And you kind of go to do that, and don't land the shot on it this time. Let me do the hair. Makoto. So that does that. Your defense number is a 10. Makoto, this hair grabs you.
Okay.
And it actually grabs you by the hair.
Oh no,
And
that's not good.
you can feel it tangle in to your hair and start to wrap strand around strand on your head. Akari, your defense numbers are 12. And it like swings to try and grab you, Akari, and smashes into one of these pachinko machines, and you see all of these ball bearings come flying out everywhere, but it completely misses you. And then on you, Haruto, your defense number is a 14.
All right.
And So it just misses. Like it goes to slam that hair, like bring it like a forceful thing, and smashes past you, and you just step out of the way as it brings that down. Let's come back to Makoto.
Yes.
What do you do?
Let's see here. It's the thing is I did a lot of things, but I didn't prep that I have like something so like the scissors or whatever. So I think that actually I think that what I'm going to do is like sort of move so that like if it's following me, I pull it more towards the center of the room, and I'm yelling, "Get the door open! Get the headlights on!"
So
It's like I'll
you're
try
running
to
towards the
maneuver
center,
it.
even as this thing is pulling your hair. Feel every strand of it start to give there, and you're kind of probably leaning against it, even as you do that. I don't think I'm going to have you roll unless you want to roll like a strength check to try and escape from it.
Sure, I could try that.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting away. Let's see. So strength, or would it be will? In the sense that it's painful, and that's why I asked, is because I'm pulling against that pain of my hair. Like,
All right.
would I let it pull out chunks of my hair?
If you'll take some damage potentially if you roll with will.
Okay,
Let's
I'll
have you
take
roll
that.
with will.
Okay. Maybe I can roll 3 4s again. So, oh, almost a 1 4 2 3, so it's a 6
6.
total. And I guess you add something if it's just a straight stat roll or
You would
whatever.
add 3 because your will is a 3 dice.
So 9.
Okay. You're gonna take 9 points.
Okay.
And as a chunk of that hair gets torn out, and you almost black out from the pain there as you stagger forward. Akari, what are you doing?
I have heard Makoto's advice. She wants someone to get to those headlights, and that is what I'm going to do.
Okay. So you're gonna go out and are you going to try and bring the van, try to drive it through the doors, or are you just trying to get it aimed? What are you doing?
I feel like it's a pretty small van, and the doors are probably large enough that like it might be a thing that could happen. So yeah, that's I mean, because all I'm going to do otherwise is probably get some of the hair in the headlights. It seems like I need to get it closer if possible.
So I think this is a little more challenging. So I am going to have you make a dexterity driving roll.
Let's see. Oh, driving's a thing I can do. I'm a student. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, you're an ambulance driver, probably.
I hope not. I might be good enough at driving. Let's see. I got a 9 all total.
9. I think you can start it up, get it through those doors, and it is in there, but you don't have the headlights on any of the hair yet. Does that seem fair?
Okay.
Haruto, what do you do?
I guess I'll take another swing at it.
Okay. Let's have you roll dexterity.
11.
11. Go ahead and roll me a d6 plus 2.
3.
3. So you pull back and you will hit this thing, zatch it. It doesn't go up like the other hair did, but it definitely recoils from the electrics of it. Like does not care for that. And you get yourself a little bit of breathing space, even as it's still trying to get a hold of you. Naoki.
Since Makoto has it pulled taut because she's stretching it so far, I think that makes it an easier target. So I'm going to turn and try and spray it again with the lit hairspray.
Okay. Yeah, we'll reduce its target number. Go ahead and roll with firearms.
Maybe I won't get a 4 this time. Yes, I did not get a 4. So that's an 8. And my firearms is 4, I believe. So that's 12.
12.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me 2d6 for damage. 10. So what does that look like? What do we see as you essentially that taut hair, you are able to snap it even as Makoto is tearing some of her own hair out?
Sorry, I missed the first part of that. Was there a question?
Oh,
What does
yeah,
it look
yeah.
like?
What do we see? What does it look like?
Well, since it's cheap, nasty hairspray, it's of course filled with a lot of plastic, so it's very flammable. So as I spray it and it goes on, we see the hair strands just sort of, you know how have you ever seen hair burn? It
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of like melt like a plastic, goes whoosh, and so it splits and fizzles up on both sides.
Yeah, Makoto probably hit the ground. That hair will recoil away from that. Even as you can see those burnt ends pull back with that sort of little how do I put this? Like the sparks on the end that kind of stops, and you'll see a kind of a silvery start to regrow. Let's come to the next round, Makoto. You are muted.
So anyway, so if I'm free, as she scrambles up and gets the door open on at least one of the sides so that we can get that thing through or whatever. I mean, she just wants those wards in there.
Okay. Well, Akari has gotten the vehicle in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So the headlights are on?
Let's have you roll occult tech.
Okay.
Plus intelligence.
Okay, so that's a boost, whatever that means. Boost means extra dice.
Okay.
So 3. And then you said it's int, so that's 3 dice, and I'm adding 6 to it. Wait, it's occult tech. That's mastery. Sorry. Okay, so a 5 would explode. Ah, terrible roll. So 4 plus 6 is 10.
10. Let me ask you this. There's the hare that's been pursuing Akari. There's the hare that is engaged with Haruto, and there's the hare that's coming after you, Makoto. Which of those three do you get these headlights on?
I'm off to the side. I think that it's going to bore right down the middle. So whoever is there.
So probably the one that was coming after Akari, since it's kind of following up
Okay.
on that. Akari, Makoto, we're gonna runs up. You get the headlights going, and the mass of hair that was following you reels back away from the headlights. What do you do?
So, I mean, I guess I can't get the van any closer.
Oh, you could. You could.
Oh, that's possible?
Do you
All
want to
right.
try and drive this thing towards the office?
Yeah, absolutely. Get it close to the mass of hair.
Let's have you make another driving roll.
Maybe the driving would be the most valuable skill. And with Dex again,
Yeah.
it's not just a matter of pure will at this point.
Good try.
This is a worth a shot. Oh, Lord almighty. It's going to be 3.
3.
Sorry about your van, Makoto.
Do you think that as you do this, which is more at risk, you or the van?
I mean, probably the van.
Okay. I think that you drive it, you gun it, you get down, but you remember I described all the ball bearings on the thing? You hit that midpoint, and when you do, there's a fairly wide aisles on these things. That van spins out. And spins out and slams against the front counter, and one of the 2 headlights goes out. Haruto, you've still got this electric baton. This nano-infused hair is still moving to attack. The van has slammed into the front check-in desk. What do you do?
I see that. I'm not sure how I can help, Keith. I guess I'm just going to try to distract it some more with more shocking.
Oh, okay. So
Can you fix the headlight?
Oh, I mean, could I?
what's your mechanics like? Oh yeah, you get car mechanics at a 7.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Let's have you roll with intelligence. And with mastery means any 5s that you roll will explode.
But 4s are still 0s?
Yep.
Got a 19?
Oh yeah. So do you imagine that's something you do remotely? Do you imagine you have to get over to the van? What do we see?
Yeah, I think I just raced right over to the van, like pull out my tools as fast as I can and just frantically work away at it, try to...
Yeah, probably jam the tool in, hit some switches, and then boom, that'll power up again. Naoki, you will see, now we've still got the 3 sort of strands that have come out here. One of them pursuing Haruto. Other one that was on Akari has recoiled back, but is now roiling to get to the van. And then the sort of burnt one that you hit. You will see the body has come to the doorway, and Abe looks 20, 30 years older than the last time you saw him just a minute ago. Clearly extending, stretching that out. His face looks cadaverous. His body looks grayish, and you can see the part that you burnt is kind of, rather than attacking, is kind of moving around like it's looking for another host. And you see it kind of stop and kind of faces towards where you're at, and you can feel your hair tingle. What do you do?
So the headlight is pointing which direction?
It's parallel right now. Sorry, perpendicular. Parallel would be the other way. Perpendicular to where this thing is, so it's facing 90 degrees off.
So I think
You want to try and drag the
I was thinking
hair?
of a center. What?
I'm sorry. Go on.
I was gonna wave my hair, like flash it around, but I'm gonna back into the headlight.
Let's have you make a dodge roll.
Okay. What was my dodge? Is it like 4 or something? I think yes. Okay. That is a 7.
That is a 7. Are you more interested in personal safety or getting this hair in the way?
Getting its hair in the way.
Okay. Then I think that you will move and kind of run, and the centerpiece will get over. And when it got hit just by the headlights, kind of at a distance, it recoiled back. But this time, it gets right in front of those headlights, even as Haruto, Akara, and Makoto are right there. And that actually, it's so close, it ignites. Like you'll see it ignite with kind of a blue flame there. But even as it does that, that part that was pursuing Akari grabs onto your hair and gets in there, and you will feel it roil into there, and it pulls you back across the room. You go lifting up, and you take 4 points of damage as you're kind of lifted up, smack against the table, and it is pulling you towards it, even as it's trying to burrow in.
So you said 4 more points of damage, and does damage work?
How damage work? Comes off of hits. You only take a penalty if you take more points in one shot than your serious wound number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been fine on that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it is dragging you right now. So we've got one mass that's got a hold of Naoki, pulling him in. We've got one mass that is burning up from being right next to the ward. And we've got another mass that is going to try to knock the van over.
Which of those is coming straight from Basho? Are there 2 of them that were, and this cutoff part caught fire?
Yeah, there are 2. The one that was pursuing you that recoiled back has grabbed onto Naoki.
Okay.
The one that got burnt has kind of pulled back, and the one that was behind Haruto, kind of fighting him as he ran over, followed, and it doesn't turn the van over, but it grabs onto the back, and it is literally shaking it, and you can feel one of the tires lift up off the back as this thing is trying to flip it. Makoto, what do you do?
I have to save Naoki.
Okay.
So I know he's just gotten pulled back, and I know he has the scissors. And I think what I do is I rush to him because I know where the scissors are, and I grab those out, and I'm going to try to cut his ponytail off.
Sleight of hand.
What? Oh, I have it. Okay.
That's why I'm saying.
Hello, these weird. Okay, reroll lowest die. Okay. 7 and what stat? Reflexes.
Let's do reflexes, sure.
Yeah, sure. Great. Awesome. That's twice as good as my dexterity. So going with it. I got 2 3s. I have mastery, so does me no good.
You get to
And
re-roll the lowest die if you want.
oh, do I have expertise?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm an idiot. So, well, since they're both the lowest dice,
No.
just roll. I got
That
another
was a
3. So, so it's just 6 plus 7 is 13, which is a very lucky number.
So yeah, I think we get it, and you cut it close to the scalp. It is not pretty. It is a butchery of his ponytail, and you will slice that off. Akari got this thing on the back trying to flip the van over. Of the 3 sort of strands from this dying guy, one of them is on fire, the other one has been clipped off of Naoki's head. What do you do?
Got the scalpel out, and I'm going to the one that's trying to knock over the van.
Okay.
Seems like what it hates the most. So.
Let's have you roll hand to hand.
And dexterity, or what is it?
Yeah, dexterity sounds good.
At least one of them was a 6.
Good.
8, 10.
10. So I think you will cut it so that it's kind of still in place, but it can't, like, you cut enough strands that it can't get the leverage to lift this van up, kind of get it off of the van. What do you do, Haruto?
Yeah, I think I'm also going after the mass, going after the van. Just trying to protect the van.
Okay. Are you trying to move spin the van around? Are you trying to use your baton? What are you doing?
I'm using my baton.
Okay, let's go ahead and have you roll dexterity.
7.
7. So you will get up to that, try to jam it, and again, the electricity arcs, but it is still there. Makoto, what is your defense number? It is 10, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not very good.
So that's a 4 on that. 5. The hair hits you.
Mm-hmm.
For 6 points of damage, essentially, as you kind of cut that, it whacks, and it sends you essentially back into the register. Like, you hit that, your head cracks against the back of that, and you can feel blood running down the back of your head, and you essentially has rung your clock. Haruto, your defense number is a 14, right?
Yes.
Okay. It will try to grab at you, but essentially can't quite get the distance. It's been cut, it's been trimmed. You've got that baton out. Makoto, what do you do?
Let's see here. What kind of shape is Naoki in?
Naoki's about half health.
Half health? Well, that's good. I guess I mean is
He's you've trimmed off the back of his head. When they say trim, that is a
I know.
bad description. He is on the ground, and he is battered and
so
bruised.
Okay, so here's the thing is she stands up, she's just had her clock rung, and so her first thing is she apologizes to him his hair. So I think she actually bows to him and apologizes, and then sort of goes to pull him up and so that he can get out of here.
Okay. Let's have you roll stamina.
Okay. I have no idea. Okay, 2d6. Keep rolling this dice like they're going to do something other than betray me. Nope. 2 3s again. It's
Just
so, and then I get whatever 3. So I
2.
get a 9.
Yeah.
2. So I get a 8.
You get him to his feet, but that is it. Naoki,
Okay.
what do you do?
But my apology was sincere, right? That's the important part.
You have put the salve on the shame of my reputation, I guess. Make me feel better. It's nothing. And so potentially, if the hair's coming at us, I expect that. What are the options? So it's to try and run into the headlight again because the headlight's still on, correct?
Yeah.
Is the hair still coming at us so I could potentially do another hairspray blast at it?
You could try.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter. I guess I'll grab Makoto and pull her and start running with her to get back into the headlight.
Okay. Then let's have you make a dodge roll.
Oh, that's actually quite good. So I got a 6, so I got to re-roll something. So I'll roll one of the other dice. And I got another 6. And a 3. So that makes it 11, 17, 20, 24.
So the two of you probably have to hop the counter, because the van is against it. Kind of roll over, and this strand, this segment kind of follows behind. Again, hits that headlights, lights up, and we can see now this sort of staggering, aged body with these two sections that are kind of burning in a silver blue fire. One section that is still over by Akari and Hiroto, and it is staggering moving forward. The body is kind of being dragged by what's left. This thing is barely holding it together. Akari, what do you do?
How close is Basha's body to me?
Maybe now 15, 20 feet, not that far.
And is the body in the light or no?
It isn't yet, no.
I think I want to try to lure it forward. So like kind of looking like I'm gonna attack, but like meeting it in the light, so it looks like there's an easy victim to get there.
Okay. Let's have you roll intelligence and how about empathy?
Okay. 9.
9. So I think that that it follows behind you, but it grabs onto you, and you will feel this stinging pain as it rips the nano tattoo nanites out of your skin to try and heal itself. And you're going to take 6 points of damage. But that body tries to catch up with you. You drag it, kind of pull back, and as soon as the headlights hit the body, that silver fire that's kind of being, burning on some of the hair, like a fuse, lights and carries through the whole thing. Like the other ends of the hair light up, like the nanites are clearly combusting. And it will roll down until it hits that body, and the body then will also just catches on fire. And there's this burning blue flame that is starting to catch in this building. The smell of burning hair, burning plastic, all of that in it. Melage, like it is just horrific in here. Haruto, what is it? Do you want to try and get everybody out? Do you want to try and make sure this thing is dead? What do you want to do?
I think at this point it's best to just get out.
Okay.
So
Tell
yeah.
tell me how you get the group out. Is it driving the car, or are you just going to try and pull them physically out?
Pull them physically, I guess.
Okay.
I don't.
So the three of you, you start dragging them out. Makoto. The building is starting to go on fire.
I can't leave the van.
Do you want to try and run back and get your van out of here?
Yes, I do.
Then let's have you roll lorries plus reflexes.
Okay, that is very generous of you, and I do appreciate it.
Is there an assist mechanic in this game at all?
Yeah, do you have any kind of driving?
No. I was just thinking I could push it from the help push it out if it's stuck. That's part of the idea.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I will give Makoto a reroll.
Aw. Okay, on a die or on both of them if I need be.
You can choose one or both.
Well, I got an exploder, so I'm going to see what happens with that. I got 8. Another 6. So now I'm at 14. Roll again. And a 3. So 17 plus my lorries is 14, so 21.
So I imagine Akari Hiroto grabs you, helps move you on out of the building. Does that seem reasonable, Akari?
Yes.
Sherry, you're not Akari.
Sorry.
But I agree with her assessment.
Okay, kind of go out, and you get outside onto the street. People are kind of looking, and there's that brief silence when you're outside the building, and then there's the and you probably see the pizza van come out through the front window. Essentially with the 17 comes out, hits. We see, for a second we think it's blood, but we realize it's tomato sauce goes spraying everywhere as it hits. I'll probably see Naoki. Are you still hanging on the back, or we see you staggering out of the building?
Staggering out of the building, I think.
All right. We'll see you come out of there and hit the streets, and within maybe a minute, we can see that building is just consumed by flames. The fire starts. It's that smell of electrical fire and all of that, and we will probably in the distance hear the sound of fire sirens coming. There's a big crowd around here. You might see those Okada-con agents here, but there are too many people around. You will see them kind of fade back into the crowd like there's nothing they can do. It's finally starting to get a little sunlight out, like it's starting to get towards dawn here. You have killed this thing. There is a lingering thread here, because clearly whatever sparked this nano contamination was a cult and came from that shop that you got the name of, Hanzo's. And I think that's where we'll take up. Whoop. And then Sherry was like, I'm done. We will let her.
You were about to wrap it up. She just got a head start.
I'm done. She'll get in post. Let me wait till she comes back. Give her a second. I hope her machine didn't reboot. Windows is a harsh mistress. So, Akari, do you think is there a sense of relief, a sense of panic? What do you think is the emotions that you're running through right now?
I think it's probably somewhere in the middle of that. Like, wow, things are way worse than I thought they were, and I can't rationalize things to myself anymore. But on the other hand, we took definitive action against this thing, and it seems like we have triumphed. So it's a scary world, but maybe one that I am more well equipped to deal with than I would have previously thought.
And you look, and there probably is just this. It's not big cuts, but it is the outline, the sort of the pencil thin line cuts of your tattoo in your skin on either side with those warding symbols, because that's how you had them set up.
That's pretty cool.
And Haruto, what is your reaction right now?
Well, this was a pretty horrifying night, but it's over and no one died.
None of you died.
Right, that, yeah. I mean, other people did, but
Yeah, they don't count. Okay, you got a good feeling about that. Naoki?
Well, aside from Hanzo's, we also know that we have a janitor's badge for the corporation,
That you do.
and janitors can get anywhere in a corporation. So we now have access to we can. So I think between the four of us, we can probably compile a good documentation on everything that's been happening and post it to help people understand what's going on.
Interesting. You're gonna
'Cause
uncover.
Akari, I know. Yeah, I saw Akari has social media skills, so
Ooh, interesting.
I think we can. I think between the doctor skills, we've got the samples of the hair, we've got the samples of the original nanite health boost. So all that's left is we need to figure out what happened at Hanzo's and put this all together.
Excellent. And Makoto, what is your mood?
My mood is that we have to take Yoko to the hospital to get her arm taken care of, and we will do what we can to make it look like she was, how do you say, not anywhere near that scene, and that the wound happened earlier, so it's not associated with anything that went on, if possible. I would like to, how should we say, disentangle her from this situation as much as we can.
That seems fair.
One of those ways is not driving her there in the pizza van.
Okay, fair enough. She's had enough of the
We'll
pizza
pull over.
van. She's probably covered
Yeah,
with
well-
ingredients at this point.
Well,
so.
considering the fact that we jumped her out the front window. Yeah. So anyway, we'll get a taxi. We'll drive over to the thing.
Let's stop there. We'll take up next time with where you want to go. We'll do a social media check. We'll follow up, and we'll run that sort of the lead down. I would like to, if you don't mind, take a few minutes and let's do the stars and wishes, which means going around, stars being things that you liked, wishes being things that you would have liked to see more of, or would have liked to have seen, or things you wish had developed here. And feel free in that if you want to talk about the system. If not, it's up to you. But let's start with stars. Sherry, we had 2 sessions. Any stars, anything you want to point to? Other players, game mechanics, events? What do you want to say?
I think the player roles were really awesome. We had a nice spread of abilities. That was super fun. I always find going back to full tread a little jarring, and you guys really rolled with it well. And of course, I'm a space cadet with my dice, so I apologize for that. But the thing that I really have to point out is that the grossest moment of this evening was the socks on the wet floor and the ochre stain. So congratulations for getting the horrible into every moment of this game. Well done, Lowell.
Thank you. Yeah, wet socks are truly unpleasant. Christo?
Yeah, no, I love the setting, the horror, the moldy, hairy horror that we dealt with this time, and the contagions and the agents, all of that together, I think plays in really well to keep the pressure on to get things done. So I like that with the sort of Blade Runner atmosphere, I guess, if you will, because that's part of the way I'm picturing with all the neon ads everywhere. So I enjoy that. I think that was good. And the hair creature, of course, is really disgusting, but yeah, very, very appropriate.
Kyle?
No, I think they covered it.
Okay. Keith?
Yeah, I felt like everything really popped into place this time. I think the first session, getting the hang of the strange to the system and getting placed in the setting was a little at sea. And felt like much more grounded and invested, and that everything really went together well on the player side. And also, I thought the choices you made on the roles were really cool and added to things. I'm not sure how much GM support there is for this game. I kind of felt like you were just making things that were good GM choices without the system telling you what to do, just a guess. But I thought that it worked really well and tweaked things a little bit while still keeping us in a good place to not all die with this monstrosity.
Yeah, I tried to do more success bands rather than binaries today because I think that's more interesting. And you guys made great choices in the course of that. Sherry, any one thing you would point to for wishes?
No, except that I have to remember when I play this that I stop and look at all the dice moves so that no one's having to deal with me talk myself through all of the eccentricities of the system. They're not that bad, but it's because I only do it once in a blue moon. I just haven't gotten them to stick. So I have to do a review.
Yeah.
So I wish that I were a more responsible player. That's it. Responsible.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Christo, anything you want to point to wishes?
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking about the system sort of. I almost wish it had a buy system so that we could like build points somehow so that if we really wanted to at least partially succeed on a roll, we could. Because they're so swingy.
Yeah.
You go from getting like literally 2 points to up to 20 from rolling 2 dice. Which I guess is what it's looking for, so that you don't you feel like heroes that can always just barely squeak by.
Yeah, but you're right. Some sort of mechanic or some sort of thing where maybe when you take damage or something, or whenever you roll a 4, it would be interesting to generate a points that could be used for something later on. Yeah, because there really is no catch up mechanic on that, and if it is because it just does go woo, we're all over the place. Okay, let me think about that. I'll probably give all of you some points next time to throw to skills, just to add new things or to reinforce ones that you already have, so they're not 2s and 3s. Kyle, anything you want to point to wishes wise?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Keith?
I think some of what I was thinking Christo may have alleviated by pointing out one of the skills. I feel like it's a problem I see a lot with games like this. There's so many skills that it's like a whole bunch of what seems like a cool background in my character isn't something I'm necessarily going to use. But finding use for like that media thing is nice. And I think we've come across a couple other ones. Like looking at the pop culture sports that Haruto has, like, I'm not sure how you're gonna put that in there unless you hit the head with a cricket bat or something. That might have been the way to take care of that. But I guess that's also like thing that we can be doing is trying to drive towards that. But I do tend to find the spread of many, many skills leads to, oh, I thought that would have been neat, but it's not.
This game has 120 skills. I have consolidated these skills. Even this list is a consolidation from the original way they present it, um, and that it is weird. I suspect what I will do next time with uh, uh, the um, the pre-gens is where it does say like pop culture, sports, or things like that. Put in pop culture and then fill in the blank, and people can fill those in on the fly. There needs to be a little more ability, I think, for all of you as players to tune that, to make choices on the fly and to fill in on gaps. So yeah, I think you're right. So many skills, so many skills.
It's only
Actually, I mean, Akari
120.
Does that mean Akari knows pop culture, knows celebrities, or does that mean that Akari is a celebrity?
Knows about celebrities.
Okay.
You do have contacts. Contacts are like, for example, Makoto does know a celebrity, so she has celebrity 3 contact that she can call on.
Boy band. Yeah. Went to high school with me. He's a cutie.
I'm noticing now that I have a pop culture of 3 and celebrity 2. So they can be lower than the.
I think that is your celebrity ought to actually be 5. If it's lower,
Okay.
it actually should have been added to that. Your celebrity and politics both ought to be 5.
Well, now those 2 skills I wasn't sure how to use are more right.
Well, we will see about that next time. Thank you all so much for being willing to go along on this crazy ride, and we will take up next time, and we'll follow up with the social media and what is going on behind the scenes a little bit more. So, thank you all very much. I'm going to stop the streaming.